Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here. Tevin Farmer has confirmed that he's received a $2 million offer to unify against fellow super featherweight Gervonta Davis. However, he has called the offer insulting and said that the fight won't happen and that he wants Jojo Diaz next. He also stated that his contract with Eddie Hearn is up and it hasn't been renewed. In regards to the contract with Eddie Hearn expiring, I don't really care about that. It just means Tevin Farmer's a free agent and basically he can fight anybody. Any fight should be makeable. But the fact he's turned down a massive $2 million payday to unify against Gervonta Davis is extremely disappointing, I've got to say. We are at the point now where both guys have turned down this fight despite being offered massive paydays. What is wrong with these dudes, man? These guys are acting like they've got a great resume and they're massive stars, that they're proven. These guys are two unproven champions moving like they're divas. It's absolutely embarrassing. Put both guys' resumes together and there's only one world-class name, and that is Jose Pedraza. The resumes are bare. These guys haven't proven anything. And here we have these two dudes acting like absolute divas. Tank Davis turned it down the first time, and now we have Tevin Farmer turning down $2 million. Will he get $2 million to fight Jojo Diaz? I very much doubt it. That's a good fight, it's a good consolation, but it's not the fight we want to see. We want to see these guys unify at super featherweight, but neither one of these guys convinced me that they want this fight. Both guys have turned it down. Both guys just seem very non-committal in regards to fighting the best. You've got Gervonta Davis knocking out smaller guys coming up in weight, and you've got Tevin Farmer fighting European level guys and even guys below European level. You know, guys like John O'Carroll and James Tennyson. Neither one of these guys have shown a desire to fight the best in recent months, and these two are getting embarrassing. They should be chomping at the bit to fight each other. A unification against a fellow countryman should be all the motivation they need to get this fight on. But these guys, you know, they're not about that life. They're not about greatness. They want to be paid very good money for doing very little, ultimately. And listen, it's we the fans who lose out. These are fights we want to see. We want to see these unification fights, but yeah, these guys are just utter prima donnas. You know, these guys act like they are Floyd Mayweather without putting in the work. Floyd put in work before he was a pay-per-view star, whether people like to admit it or not. He had bodies on the resume before he became a star. You know, Castillo, Corrales, Gennaro Hernandez. He beat these guys. These guys are not following suit. These guys are sitting there, you know, fighting subpar competition and showing no ambition to fight good competition. It's absolutely embarrassing. You know, Tank Davis, for me, is a brilliant talent, but he's done nothing. Nothing at all. People wonder why the UFC in America is taken over. People wonder why the UFC is bigger than boxing in America. This is why. This weekend in the UFC, we've got a great card. I don't even like UFC, but I like the card. You've got Yoel Romero against Paulo Costa. You've got Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic. You've got Nate Diaz versus Sergio Pettis. You know, Nate Diaz, after a 3-year layoff, is going in there with a dangerous guy. If that was a boxer, they'd want about 5 tune-ups. There's a reason why MMA and UFC is a bigger sport in America. Because ultimately, I'm sure the UFC isn't perfect, but they deliver fights fans want to see on a more regular basis. The fighters are more about greatness in comparison to boxing. You know? The problem with boxing, in my opinion, especially in America and even the UK, a lot of fighters have been getting paid extremely good money to fight low-level competition. Look at Leo Santa Cruz, for example, getting paid million-dollar paydays to fight absolute nobodies. When you're doing that, when you're paying a fighter like Santa Cruz to fight nobodies, let's say you're paying him $1 million, $1.5 million to fight a nobody, why is he then going to fight Gary Russell Jr. for $2 million? Yes, a bit more money, but given the risk involved, he may as well just keep on stacking money fighting bums. That's why a lot of these guys are not fighting each other. They're overpaid, and to them it's all about the money. That is mainly with US and UK fighters. That's just what it is. You know, the Eastern Europeans, the Asians are different, but Western fighters, man, these guys are prima donnas, they're privileged, and here's another example. These guys have proven nothing in the grand scheme of things. Let's be honest about it. Tank's got one good win, Tevin Farmer has 0 good wins. These guys should be trying to build themselves, build a legacy, build a resume, and then fame and money comes. Then pay-per-view fights come. But no, playing prima donna, you know, playing A-side, B-side, I'm telling you, man, Tank might be a bigger draw, but in this type of fight, we should not hear the term A-side, B-side, or anything like that. It's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Share your thoughts below. Peace.